I just watched Rise of the Planet of the Apes from 2011 and I loved it. I went to this movie thinking it was going to be like what I heard about the older movies, alien planet, society run by apes, that kind of stuff. I didn't really know what to expect going in, but I was pleasantly surprised by what I got. What made this a very fun watching experience was that the writers knew what I wanted to see, the apes, and it keeps them in the forefront of the story. The brief beginning of the movie that focuses more on the humans is only there to create the setting and get the ball rolling with a bit of internal consistency. The aspect of the main human character having a love interest felt forced in my opinion, since it doesn't amount to anything that matters for our main character. The movie was smart to make the main character the primary chimp of the movie. His name is Caesar, and everything about him is understandable. He's got a bit of a Hunchback of Notre Dame thing going on at the start, and his growth from a well-behaved family member to a leader of his kind is an incredible journey to watch. I cannot stress enough how much of a damn good character Caesar is. Another reason to love Caesar is that he's a smart character, and I don't mean it in the same way that some bad characters show their intelligence by talking about how they reach a conclusion or a character just being a scientist. The main human character of the movie is a scientist, and while I get the impression he's smart from what he does for a job, there's a bit of a disconnect because his form of intelligence being shown would have given off the same vibes as the turbo encabulator. Caesar is smart because of how quickly he comes to an idea or conclusion and acts on it. The intro tells us he's smart, but there's the rule of show don't tell, and the rest of the movie shows us that he is smart. I feel like I'm just praising everything about this movie so far, and I feel I should mention that's because I can't think of anything the movie did wrong. One of the easiest places that it could have messed up and shown its ass would have to be in the silent communication of the movie. Much of the movie is told through body language and the eyes. The effects in this movie look almost perfect, and I think the best example of this is when the characters look at each other. Just a stare tells you so much, and it would not have been effective if they didn't look real. Everything is easy to follow, and the dynamics are engaging to watch because you aren't sure just what will set the other character off. Caesar works very well for a form of inserting the audience into the environment of the other apes because he too doesn't know how the social structure works. The movie starts as a drama, and a little bit after the halfway point, it becomes an action movie. Normally, action scenes can be boring, dragged on, distracting, and sometimes just make me think the people are fighting are stupid for not doing X thing. Whether it was intentional or if it was by accident, a lot of those problems don't feel like they can exist here. The characters fighting aren't humans. They're smart, but they're still animals. There's a level of unpredictability with that fact that makes everything they do engaging. And again, the audience is here for the apes, and the movie delivers with every shot of the apes fighting being clear and showing off their intuition. Maybe if I had seen this movie when it was first released, I would have been more worried for Caesar or if the apes would win. I might have been worried the movie would be shit and make the human characters the focus at the end. But I watched it in 2024, and I know there are sequels with Caesar because he's on the cover of the movies. The movie isn't perfect, but frankly, I can't think of anything wrong with it either. I feel it does everything it does well. Maybe it could have been better in places, but I'm not sure how. This isn't the best movie. It probably isn't even in my top 10 movies, but it's great, and I highly encourage anyone that hasn't seen it to go out and watch it. I plan to get this movie on DVD if I see it around. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me. And if you like the avatar used for this video, it was designed and drawn by the artist Overlord Neon, who's open for commissions and can be found on Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter, and I highly recommend checking out her Patreon page.